One. Welcome to Let's Discuss with Lance Hull. Happy to welcome Issa to the program tonight. How you doing, Issa?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing excellent. How are things over in your part of the world?
Yeah, it's good. We're sort of like soon getting out of these restrictions, and I live in UK at the moment, so we
Okay.
will um we will get people vaccinated pretty quick over here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of normality soon.
Oh man, aren't we all,
I know, yeah.
But you've also got some exciting stuff happening. On March 12th, you got a new album called Queen of Broken Hearts coming out on Frontiers Records. 11 tracks. I have heard of an advanced copy of it. It's awesome, Issa.
Great. Oh, I'm happy you liked it. Yeah, it's really cool. I feel really blessed. I've done so many albums now with Frontiers, and I'm just developing constantly. So this is just like another step in the right direction, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very happy with the album.
Tell us a little bit about the title. I'm sort of intrigued by that, and I loved the cover as well. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about those.
Yeah, it's quite a funny story actually about the cover. So I decided to basically one day I saw this like really run down bus, and I thought that would be a great idea for like a photo shoot. So without asking for permission, because I didn't know who owned this bus, obviously,
Yeah.
we just borrowed it for an afternoon and did a photo shoot in there. We had like this long red dress, and it came out really really cool. So obviously when I sent the pictures to Frontiers, and I just said to them, this and this could be the cover, or we were discussing it, and they had a guy there called Olav. I think he's German or from Belgium, and he was going to do like the artwork. So he said to me, "Oh yeah, it's cool, but it is a bit boring." I was like, "Okay," and he took the pictures, and I was absolutely over the moon when I got the cover back. It
Yeah.
was pretty amazing. So yeah, he's a really talented artist, and obviously got a real good eye for things. So that was cool, and it sort of like matched the video as well with the scenery. So all
Mm.
in all, struck gold. But yeah, and the title track, we that was just really it just happened by itself, because we were sending, obviously when we're sending files back and forward to each other, we sort of like just called the album Queen of Broken Hearts. I don't know if it was the first song we did, or how it came about, but you know just at the end when we were finished with the album, that's just what it was called. So
See?
beside it actually being a little bit of a title you will remember, it kind of just happened. So
Yeah.
no big story behind that, but yeah.
Cool. Well, when we get to the tracks, I'm going to ask you about that track, but I got a couple other questions for you before we go through that. Now, this was your sixth album with Frontiers, and I read you were challenged vocally. Did you challenge yourself, or did the material challenge you? Was it sort of one and the same?
Yeah, so I mean, every album that you do, obviously you learn a lot with what you do, and you bring that forward. But I just found this one was like, I'll take a song as an example, like Derive. It's a song where you actually have to sort of like use your voice in several sort of like different ways. You can't
Hmm.
just kind of keep a note going. You actually have to twist your voice while you sort of like singing the same note. So much more challenging in that way, but I like it. I like to be challenged. So just sort of like creating this sound. Obviously some of the songs I've been part of writing, and some of the songs has been written by other writers. So you sort of like get a demo sometimes, and then
Sure.
you try to kind of put your own stamp on that.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, sure, at the end, it's a much more sort of like demanding album. I think it's not just like copy chorus and get your verses and copy choruses. It's much much more to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I found that much more challenging, but in a good way.
And you were able to record your vocals in York where you are. Do you have like a home studio, or was there a studio there you used, or?
Yes, we do have a local studio. So, we've I've been doing a bit of both. So, I can record a bit at home, but I also have a local studio that sort of like helps me out with bits and pieces when I need it. So it's it's both. But it's nice to also be able to sort of like sit at home and you kind of tracking up all the bits and bats that you want to have done. So just taking that extra little bit of time, and you don't have to travel around. But yeah, it's also more challenging, doing things by yourself. So, but yeah, I've got a bit of going on.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You mentioned trading files, so I take it at no point, of course, with the quarantine and the lockdown and everything, at no point were you ever like in a studio with any of the other musicians, correct?
Yeah. We
So you sort of,
yeah, everything is just like sent by files. Yeah, we are not together at all. And that was a challenging as well with the videos, because I had to do these 2 videos all by myself. Like there's no and there's no I can't sort of like travel into other like counties here. So it's basically use what you got outside your house. Luckily for me, just around the corner, it's Daniel. He's a great he's great with making videos. So we kind of teamed up together and did the best that we could.
well, they came
Made
out
the best
great,
situation, but
you
yeah.
know. So I'm thinking really it's almost like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. You've got all
Oh,
these different files and you've got to put everything sort of together, which
yeah.
must have been a challenge.
It's a nightmare. Yeah, because it's a lot of files, a lot of sending. You have to make sure that everything is, nothing sort of like shines through. And I think, with recording and anything that you record yourself as well, you just got to be so thorough. And I am really picky, so it
Yeah.
takes forever to do something with me.
Eh,
Like if I do it myself. So that's sort of like the upside of doing that, but
mm.
also you don't have anybody there sort of giving you any tips or, some other ears to hear what you're doing. So it's basically just this what I think sounds good. So,
I,
yeah.
I was gonna say you must have to be very self-motivating because it's not like you can lay down a vocal and walk out of your vocal booth and there's a producer or the guitar player, the drummer sitting there saying, that was great. Maybe we should try this. Hey, you should have given it a little more. That was, or you must have
Yeah,
had to be
yeah.
very self-motivating on this whole thing.
Yeah, you spend that much longer because you have to re-listen to everything all the time, and then obviously you need to make sure that there's no you stomp on your feet or you get a little bump or a bank or anything like that in any of the takes that you do. So everything has to be like so perfect. So it's so easy to just get a little something. I mean, I don't know how many times obviously I sit now, I record and you're singing and then you just manage to hit the mic stand a little bit, and it's just like, oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And then you come back to it and you're like,
I've
what is
never,
that?
I've
What
never
is that?
thought of that.
Yeah, it's all these little bits that you don't think about, that as if you had somebody just there listening, them saying, oh no, do it again. Something happened.
Right.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
and you're working on a time scale, so it's not like you just actually just have to. But I'm that sort of person. I start something, I have to finish it. I can't let it go. If I'm in this zone of a song, I have to finish it. If not, it's
Mm.
just it just really
Yeah.
annoys me if I don't finish it.
You're very
So
demanding of yourself, which is good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Now, the first 2 tracks, Angels Calling and The Way Out, you did videos for. Angels Calling you shot in York, and The Way Out, I'm assuming as well. Do you enjoy making videos? I mean, it must have been nice for you with these just to sort of get out a little bit, but overall, do you enjoy the video making process?
yeah. I mean, I do, but I don't know. It's always really nerve wracking, I think, with like the videos, because a lot of videos these days, it does. It's not like it goes on your looks, That's not what I'm saying, because music, shines through at the end, I think. But
Mm.
you are like anybody else. You will be self-conscious. You are. That's just like you're going to be all over internet, and everybody's going to be looking at it.
Yeah.
And I like shooting the videos, but I think the experience I had from this time is, having somebody else involved. Like I had like an actor on one of the videos, The Way Out. That was just, I really enjoyed that. And, not being the focus all the time. And that was one of the things, obviously, I didn't want to do 2 videos with just me standing there, sort of thing. And so having Phil was great. And I think going forward, I would enjoy doing different things in a video, maybe have more stories, other people involved, because I like doing videos, but I'm not the biggest fan of looking at myself like, you know what I mean, in like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Tell us a little bit about those mannequins in The Way Out. How did that come
they're
about?
pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are. Do you know what? I just came up with this idea. I was like, well, originally I thought I wanted to make quite a dark video, like being in the dark. Do you know what I mean? But that's really hard to do that. Obviously, filming it at night is like terrible. So obviously, you have to film it during daytime, but or late at night. But we sort of ended up in the woods with really good sunshine, which was really bad. So we were like, oh no. But the idea was sort of like to have these mannequins that was going to lead him out of the woods, do you know what I mean? And with words written on them. So, we did our best to create that. And I think it came out pretty cool. I mean, different to what I sort of like maybe initially thought, but then it's a process, isn't it? Like things you just got to make the best out of what you're doing. So it was cool, something different. And Phil was great in it. He's a professional actor.
Now, was Phil someone you knew, or someone?
Actually, it was somebody James knew. So my husband, he knows him through so he knows him, and we just asked him if he was interested in doing it, and he was up for it, and he's super professional. It was the first time I've ever met him, but he was great. I think he looked really good in the video. So it's usually when you see like bands, they always have like girls playing, don't they? So I thought, I don't have any girls. I actually want to have a guy in there being, acting out something. So yeah.
Exactly. Hey, why not?
I know.
I thought of a question when it came to videos. I've never asked this. I'm hoping this isn't a dumb question. You're shooting the video, and you've obviously got the track playing behind you as you're acting out whatever scene or anything you're doing, right? So you're trying to match up your mouth with the words, correct?
Yeah, you do.
Now, as you're doing that, do you actually sing the song, or do you mouth it? Do you lip sync it?
Sometimes. I mean, this is it's like, let's take an example. Like one of the shoots we did was just down in York, so it was like a city centre. People are out walking, and we're at the sort of like Minster. It's like it's a tourist attraction. Obviously, we are in lockdown, but there were a lot of people out walking. So it's a little bit like I wouldn't walk around there shouting and screaming this song. I'm trying to sort of like not mime my way through it, but like sort of sing it in a kind of way. But but then you go to Italy and you've got a full band and it's blasting out the stereos. Do you know what I mean? And then you can just go for it. So it just depends where you are, I think.
Yeah, it was just something I'd sort of thought of, and I'm thinking, have I ever asked this? And I don't think I have. So
It just totally depends. But it's hard sometimes. Like when you're doing a video, you just really want to belt it out, but there's not always. It's kind of like appropriate doing it. It just depends where you are, I think. But,
let's skip down to track 5, Blue, and this is where I think you were talking about using your voices in different ways and twisting and turning. You had some stops, some pauses, some tempo changes in that song. The guitar solo was incredible. I'm a guitar solo guy, but that must have been one of your more challenging ones, I would think. Was Blue?
Yeah, I mean, Blue is a great song. I really, really love it. I think we're doing a lyric video for that one. But I mean, I am such a sucker for a big ballad. I am. That is like my thing. I just love big ballads.
Mm.
So yeah, that's yeah, I just like I said, I just love them, and it's all challenging. I mean, ballads, you often a lot more kind of like on show, if that makes sense. You
Yeah.
just um yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's a great song. I love it, and I was really, really enthusiastic when I got the song. It's Del Vecchio's written this song, so I could hear straight away. I love this song. So it was a big tick in the book. So yeah.
Now, the title track, Queen of Broken Hearts, I was expecting a ballad, speaking of ballads, but it's definitely more up-tempo.
Yeah,
And listening to this, remember, I'm a guy listening to this.
yeah,
Is it a bit, instead of a Queen of Broken Hearts sympathetic figure, I took it as sort of an empowering
yeah.
perception. Is that what
It,
did you have a hand in writing this one, or?
I know, actually, I didn't. So I've been part of writing 3 or 4 of the other songs, but not this one. So when I got this song, I thought, God, that is a different song. It's a different sort of lyrics to it. Very sort of like not eye catching, ear catching,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it was just a bit different. Obviously, I'm putting my stamp on it, but yeah, it's a really cool song. I mean, the title is really good, but like you said, it's definitely not a sign of weakness. It's a
Right.
sign of empowerment. So yeah, definitely.
You're using the broken heart as a strength rather than a
Yeah,
weakness. That was
yeah,
great. Then we got
definitely.
down to Derive, and I was
Yeah,
expecting a rocker, and I got like a ballad.
yeah,
I looked at the
yeah,
title Derive. I'm like, that's going to be slamming, and that was more of a ballad.
yeah. It's like a different song again, and I just love the long notes, and yeah, that's actually one of my, well, I was going to say favorite songs, but I've got so many favorite songs in this album. But yeah, I just love the track. It's cool, and it always gets my attention. Weirdly enough, it's like you end up on this last song, and you're just like, oh, it's just, yeah, it just gets my attention every single
Yeah.
time. So yeah, it's a good
The,
track.
the next three tracks I noticed, I got in my notes here where you had mentioned this album was more symphonic, and I thought it really showed up on the next three tracks, Without Love, Wait for Love, and After the Rain. That's just a big sound. You've got a big vocals in there.
Yeah,
Those must have been pretty fun to put together.
yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
after the rain, we wrote that here. So we yeah, that was like, obviously put together, made for me. All the songs are great, big songs, I like to use my voice. And that was one of the nice things as well, finding all the right keys. That's like so important when you do an album like this. And yeah, I just feel like we just hit the nail here.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
just worked, all the songs as well. So, that's the thing, we're working so long with the producer Alessandro and everybody around me that we just know what works and what doesn't work. So yeah.
Did you have a hand in picking any of the players, or was that all like I know Serafino's kind of the mastermind behind everything, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Alessandro Del Vecchio was, because we used the same band on my previous record,
Okay.
so he's kind of been he was the one suggesting this, and he was the one getting in touch with them, and it was sort of like his contacts.
Mm.
But then it just worked so well on the last album that we were like, why would we want to change anything, and every musician will always put their stamp on things when they do things. So how the sound of the previous record ended up being, we wanted something similar, but in maybe a little bit more of a more symphonic sort of style. So yeah, Serafino, he's more or less. I mean, he's the label manager, and
Yeah.
he's more or less not retiring, but he doesn't do that much anymore.
Hmm.
But he's always sort of got a hand in things, and he just emailed me back and he said, "This is the best record you have ever done, you know.
Yeah.
And when he's happy, then everybody's happy.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so
Let's
yeah, but
talk
that
a
was a
little
very
bit about.
good.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, that was a really good compliment. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. When your boss tells you, great job. Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Alessandro on keys. Let's talk about the other guys. Help me out with names here. Is it Simone Milroni on guitar?
Yeah, so you've got Simone. I just called him by the first name. It's Miller. I can't even say it. Yeah,
Okay.
Milleroni.
Uh,
Andrea Tower, he's on the bass, and then you've got Marco Di Salvia. He's on the drums,
right.
and then Alessandro Del Vecchio on keys, and then I'm not sure. We might have had James Martin on some of the keys as well that he did, with some of the songs. So, yeah, it's a team effort.
Definitely, definitely. Just to get back to the last track of the album, "Die for a Life with You," ouch, "Die for a Life with You" is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The way that song was structured, I could just see that as a fantastic like show closer. The way it sort of built and faded and everything. Um, Going forward now, obviously everybody's in limbo, but obviously you're in hopes of getting this out and playing live for people, correct?
Yeah, I would love to do that. I have been thinking maybe to do like some sort of like online concert. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, I don't have a band here, so that's like,
Yeah.
I might have to be more inventive with what I'm going to do. But going forward, we just have to. I mean, we just have to see. I mean, it's so hard to know, how long this is going to go on for. So as soon as everything sort of loosens up, then we can start kind of planning a little bit more and see what happens.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
with that, with the time frame being so unstable, let's say, because we, could all end.
Yeah.
We don't think it's going to end tomorrow. We hope it would, but hopefully
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. Um, the album's coming out on the 12th. What are you doing in the meantime? Are you sort of taking a little rest, or are you going to dive into something else, or what's
Yeah,
happening?
I mean, we always have projects going. So, James, my husband, he's writing songs for all sorts of projects all the time. So we always do something. So, but this meantime now is just sort of like put my feet up a little bit and just enjoy, seeing people's reactions and hearing what people think about the album. It's sort of like all the rewards are coming now. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So you put all this effort into this album, so it's great to sort of like take a back step and just see how it goes down and see what people think, I think.
Yeah, if there's any bit of silver lining in all this, normally you would put out an album and it would be instant tour and you're on the road and everything's at a breakneck pace. Then you actually get a
Yeah.
chance to kind of savor it a little bit and interact with
Yeah.
your fans and stuff, which has got to be,
Definitely.
almost as rewarding. Not, it's not as rewarding as playing live, but it's still got to be cool.
Definitely. That's the amazing thing with internet, isn't it? Like you get just, so many lovely messages and people are so involved. And I think this, lockdown situation, I think, people got more time to sort of listen to music and, yeah. So, it's a good thing. We get to sort of like talk more to all the fans and the people that like the music. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to sort of people be able to hear the whole album. That'd be great. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and that's what's so mind-blowing about the way the music business is and social media and everything. I always use this analogy. Could you imagine back, in 1972 or 73, being able to
Yeah.
message Jimmy Page and say, "Hey, Jimmy, this song Stairway to Heaven, tell me about it."
Exactly. I mean, it's just I mean, everything has changed, hasn't it? Like I
Yeah.
even noticed that now, like 10 years with Frontiers, how much they have changed and how I see, when I started out, I was like one of very few girls doing a lot of this music. And now it's like, I scroll down my Facebook and it's like one after the other. And that is great. Do you know what I mean? Internet has given people platform to sort of get on there and get their music out, which is great. So, but it's also sort of like a downside, isn't it, with like internet and all the streaming and all this. It's very little in it for people these days, and selling records as well. It's you can just. I mean, most people just go on YouTube or whatever and just listen to free music. So or whatever they want to go, but it's but yeah, I mean, it's given people a good platform, I guess. But yeah, it's just, I can imagine back in the days, how it would have been. It's
Well, that's that's sort of the other thing too, is there's so much access. It's sort of like I feel at times it's so cool to have it, but at other times it's almost like it's pulling the curtain back too much, and it's you can have a little mystique there.
Yeah, I agree. It just is. Sometimes it is just, I think it takes not the specialness out of things, but it is just so much. You don't know where to start. I don't know where to start me listening to music anymore. I'm like, there is just, so many amazing that singers and people that's doing things, and I listen to it. I like it, but it's just. It just becomes one of many. It's that's like the thing with internet, isn't it? Back in the days, if you had a record deal, that was huge. Do you know what I mean? You would sell, and so it was a totally different thing back then. But that's the way the world is, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you can't absorb it like you used to. Like when I'll go back to my high school days. Back then, it was. When the new Journey album came out, you had that, and it was there for like a couple of months, and then say Foreigner would put out an album, or Kiss or somebody, but you had time space, and there wasn't 100 other things coming out. It became your album.
Yeah, exactly. That is the difference. It's even when I started with Frontiers, I mean they didn't release half as many albums as what they do these days. It's just it used to be like a lot less, and I don't know why, but they've grown bigger as well. But nowadays it is just you sometimes you think, is everybody a musician? It's like everybody, it's somebody that doesn't do music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it just feels like that. But I'm it's a good way for people. I mean, there's always been so many people has never been heard or never had a sort of platform to do anything. So the internet is the way forward, I guess.
Exactly, because back in the day, you had your special talents that got the deals and stuff, and there could have been 50 others that were just as good that just never got the break, never got the right place at the right time, and now you can.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. You can fend for yourself these days. You can just you can just put it out, and so. But it's really nice having a label. You get a much bigger coverage, which is great. I would never know where to begin. Obviously releasing an album, but yeah, I mean, we'll see how the world goes. But hopefully there'll be more in it for musicians going forward, because at the moment I think it's very little. Even with royalties and everything's so minuscule. So, right. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, you have put out a fantastic album that I think is going to stand up and get noticed out there. We're chatting with Issa. Her new album, Queen of Broken Hearts, is coming out March 12th on Frontiers. It's 11 tracks. Great stuff. Great album. Fantastic start to finish. I never got bored once through the 11 tracks. It was like, what's next? It's great. Excellent. Issa, I always like to end with just sort of some fun, silly questions. I'm hoping you will enjoy these as well. That sounds good to you.
Okay.
Let's see. What is the last music other than your own that you listened to?
Oh God. Last music I listened to today was I was going to say, was it Baby Shark? Something like that.
Okay.
I should think it was. Yeah. No, but other than that, yeah, I think coming from Scandinavia, I always have to follow Eurovisions. I've actually been having, and there's the Eurovision songs on today, just to follow what's going on. It's a tradition more than anything.
Absolutely. If you could pick a television show to have one of your songs placed in, what TV show would you pick?
Oh, God. Married at First Sight. I love it. I am obsessed in it.
Okay. Is there a clothing style that has gone out of fashion that you would love to see come back into fashion?
Yeah, I kind of like I don't know if that's actually coming into fashion. The flare pants.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I just quite like them. So I think they were popular at some points when I was younger, and then they kind of went out of fashion, and it's about time they come back in.
Okay. What is something outside of music and singing that you're good at? Like, are you a good florist or a good, I don't know, painter, anything like that?
Well, I am. Oh God, I love like DIY. So we're just actually extending our house at the moment. So I will probably be the person that would lay the floor and do those sort of things, and I quite like that. So I'm a little bit of a. I'll always try at least with DIY. So I'm a little bit of a enthusiast on that.
Very cool. If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home cooked meals from your youth, what would you have her make?
Oh, meatballs with gravy, like a brown sauce that we have there. Oh, definitely. I would just have that any day.
All right. Last one, and this is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actress would you pick to portray you? And it's your movie
Oh
of
my
life. You can pick
God.
anybody.
Oh, I don't know. God. Um, uh, Scarlett Johansson? Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
she'll
Yeah.
do. She'll do.
Absolutely. Just to get us back to music, say if a young lady or a young gentleman came up to you and said, Issa, I really have aspirations to become a vocalist, in a band. I'd really like to go out there and sing, and try and make a living off it. What advice would you give them to get them started?
Oh God. Practice makes perfect. Honestly, there's nothing better than just going out there, form a band, go out and try your hardest. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Always say yes to your opportunities. Don't be too good for anything. And yeah, just try your hardest. That's all you can do.
Very, very good. Issa, it's been a lot of fun talking to you this evening. Once again, we've been chatting with Issa for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall, new album, Queen of Broken Hearts, out March 12th on Frontiers Records. Going to be available everywhere, I'm assuming, once it comes out. So hopefully everybody snags a copy of it and enjoys it as much as I did.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Awesome. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.